everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be more of a challenge video rather than an art video. So I was challenged to bake. At first it was more than 50 cupcakes, but now it's more than 70 cupcakes under 24 hours. My mom had asked me for a favor, so I decided to bake the amount of cupcakes she needed for her job or whatever. So I'm going to make this into a challenge video. So can I bake more than 70 cupcakes under 24 hours? The answer is yes, but I'm going to show you how I did it in this video. So I hope you guys enjoy the video and see you guys a bit later. Okay, so right now on screen is just the recipe I used for both the vanilla and chocolate cupcakes in this video. Okay, so now that we have the recipe down packed, let's get right into the video. That's me waving my hands for this video. Okay, so first thing we need is baking powder, salt, and all-purpose flour. So I poured in the flour and the baking powder and the salt in a separate bowl. I don't know if you ever heard the term mix wet and dry ingredients separately before together. So right here is the wet ingredients, which is the milk and the water. So I poured in 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of water. Now instinctively I doubled the recipe, thinking that I would need it to make 2 dozen vanilla and 2 dozen chocolate. But then my mom called me and she said I need more cupcakes, and it turns out I actually had more than enough to make the extra cupcakes because I was doing mini cupcakes instead of regular cupcakes. So right now I'm cutting up the butter for this recipe, and I use unsalted butter because it's just easier to gauge, and all the recipes said unsalted butter is better. And then I have some sugar, and we're mixing those two together. And then to enhance the flavor, I added some natural vanilla essence. So I just put that in. It's always better to use unsalted butter because it's easier than to add salt in yourself than guess how much salt is in the butter. That right now I'm cracking the egg, so that's just the egg in there. And then I mix that all together, and you want to get like a pasty consistency. You don't want it to be too like crumbly, but at the same time you don't want it to be too wet. So now I'm adding in like the flour and the powder and the baking powder from the dry ingredients, and the wet ingredients, which is the water and the milk. For the chocolate cupcakes, I did a similar process. Instead I had to heat up water and hot cocoa and mix those two together so I could add that into the batter. So I started off with the same butter and sugar, and then eventually I will be adding in the eggs. So these are the eggs right here, right in the middle. And then after that, I will mix in the cocoa mixture into the batter so that I can make the chocolate cupcakes. And that's just me mixing it in. And then we have these empty mini cupcake clothing. And with the power of editing, I'm able to do this within a second. Not really. And these are the vanilla cupcakes that I was planning to bake. And now we're going to do the same thing with the chocolate. And power of editing, there we go. And these are just the cupcakes that are ready to bake. So I put them in for 350 degrees. I accidentally pressed stop there, but it's okay. And then we're baking the cupcakes. So these are just the cupcakes baking in the oven. They should have like nice little humps to them. And these are just all the cupcakes that I baked at that time. And this is just how they're supposed to look. They're supposed to be golden brown at the edges and have like a little hump on top. That's how you know that they're completely ready and to cool. So now we're doing the icing. So I'm doing buttercream icing because that's the best icing I know. So I'm using butter, again unsalted butter, powdered sugar instead of regular sugar, and then I'm using salt, heavy cream, and more vanilla essence. Heavy whipping cream is specific. If you just use regular heavy cream, it's not going to whip as well, and the icing won't have those nice peaks that you like to use the pipe. So yeah, heavy whipping cream is what you need, not just heavy cream. So that's just the icing. And then I used this piping tip, but this piping tip did not work out well. But we'll find out why in a minute. So now I'm adding the icing to the piping bag, and I just do this trick where I put it in the cups to make it easier to put in. And then this is just me showing off the piping bag, not knowing my demise is coming up very soon. Yep, these piping tips did not work. Like you can see me struggling just to make that little peak in that cupcake. So I ditched that for now, and I did the sprinkle dip method where I fill the cupcake with icing and just dip it in a large bowl of sprinkles. And this is the funfetti collection of our Cupcake Mayhem marathon. So now the second part was a lot easier because I changed the piping tip obviously, and it worked a lot better. And this time I'm adding some pink sprinkles to the cupcakes. I'm not sure why I chose pink for this one, because it's not just girls, it's guys too that's going to be buying and eating these cupcakes, but you know, it's okay. I just added some pink sprinkles, and I just me sprinkling them. These were a lot finer than I thought they would be, but then again, it's been a while since I bought these sprinkles. So this is going to be called the Girls Just Want to Have Fun collection for our cupcake marathon. And I liked how these turned out. I think they're pretty fun and, you know, unique. And then this one is the gold sprinkles. Now the gold sprinkles I bought very recently, but again, I didn't know how fine they were, so they were making a little mess, but I did clean them up afterwards. But I do like the color of them, it's really nice. So this collection will be the gold and shivers and gold. I don't know, something gold shimmers, I guess. I didn't really think of that name very well. So now I'm doing the chocolate icing, which is just unsalted butter again, and then cocoa powder. So we want to mix those two together and get this nice consistency. Again, we're looking for those peaks so it can be easier to use the piping tip. And this time I'm sticking to my nice piping tip. And then we're adding some more gold. So I'm going to call it Gold and Chocolicious because, you know, it's gold and it's a chocolate on chocolate. So I guess our Gold and Chocolicious collection is out right now. So yeah, that's the cupcakes for these. I liked the gold on the brown. I thought it was really nice. And then for this one, I used the red sprinkles that I found, which also looks really well because it does give a peppermint looking texture to this cupcake. So we're going to call this one Peppermint Delight. I think Peppermint Delight is a fun way to showcase these cupcakes, and that's just me closing the container. And yeah, this is how they looked. Okay, so for these next chocolate cupcakes, I found some silver sprinkles this time. So I think they looked really nice on the cupcakes as well. A lot of bright colors always look good on the dark chocolate colors. So I'm going to call this Silver Spring because it does look a bit silvery springish, I guess. But it also has like a nice dark color because of the chocolate. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. This collection was a mixture of both vanilla and chocolate cupcakes, but I used chocolate frosting for both of them. So we're just gonna sprinkle these like big chunky chocolate sprinkles on top of them and call this collection Chocolicious because, you know, it's chocolate. It's lots of chocolate. Even the vanilla has chocolate. So yeah, definitely right. I also added some silver sprinkles to give it some more color. So these are all the cupcakes that I made. In total, I made 72 cupcakes. I actually did the math and counted up the dozens and then multiplied it by the number. And I was so tired by the end of this, but I'm so glad I did this, and I hope everybody enjoys the cupcakes too. Okay, so that is it for the video. Thank you guys for watching, and if you haven't already, feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps me and it helps the channel out a lot. And I hope you guys have a really wonderful weekend. See you in the next video. Bye bye.